Okay, the older I get, the better I was. All right, let me see here. Oh, 1,000 bits. Hype train, 1,000 bits. I think that, or was that 1,000 bits or 100 bits? Wow, this is killer. Oh, you guys are popping up and doing things. I guess it's easier now that I've become affiliate, you know. I notice more people are joining me this way. I know some people are still donating to me and leaving me some money on donations, which is great too. Of course, I get more of that percentage than I do with this, but I'm so grateful because remember, I'm not doing this for money. I'm just going, wait, what happens? Okay, is a Twitch thing that can generate even more views for subs. Oh, super cool beans. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's choose a video game for me. We're just gonna do one, okay? Just one track because I've got to assess what this is and I got to figure out a couple things technically. So let's do one game. More bits, 100 bits. Mahalo. La, 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 la. Hey, you know what I was thinking about? Another wonderful composer I'm just learning about. Oh my goodness, what's the name of this one game? Celeste? Celeste? Or Celeste or something like this? How about if I do a track from them? League of Legends is one, but yes. Do the poll. Oh, I can do a poll. Oh no, I'm afraid to do a poll because I'm such a bad speller. I'm gonna go. Pfft. Oh my goodness. Celeste. Okay, I tell you what. I'm just gonna call an audible here, because I still am very tired. It's early in the morning. I usually don't wake up until the crack of 9. I can do that because I'm old. I can't help it. I can do that. Do you have any mods to commands for you yet? No, not yet. I have to get a mod to help me with that. And I'll do that in the future. Right now, I'm just a little... Yeah, I know. Here's the one thing. Louis Spaghetti just brought up something. It would be a shame to do one track. You know what I'm going to do? How about this? This is just for us. There's just a few of us here today, and I'm so grateful. And I know you guys, I hope you guys aren't like getting in trouble being at work or something. You're watching this on the side, you know? So, you know what I'm going to do? Let me dig out of this really quick. I'm going to go to this, but I'm going to can it. Wait a minute. Oops. Let me not play that. And let me go to, oh, see how ugly my, whoops. This is not what I want you to see. Oh you see my stream is choking right now. This sucks. Celeste video game OST. Oh my goodness, my system is moving like a glacier. Okay, guys, so we're going to do this. As somebody said, it would be a travesty if I only listen to one. So why don't I commit to listening just to a couple of tracks? Let's just say off of this, maybe this first video. It looks like... oh, for the Europeans. There's a lot of Europeans that are home from work. Okay, I see. I gotcha. Let me take a look at this really quick. Just stand by. Wow, is my system just bogging? This just sucks like it's nobody's business. This is just not going to work. Let me change my settings here. Just stand by, guys. So sorry. I'm going to set this down to 720. Okay. I think. Oh, okay, look, somebody I've done this before where I didn't put in timestamps on YouTube and somebody circles around and grabs them and puts them in. And then I grab them from their comment and drop them in my videos. Okay, I tell you what we're going to do, guys. Thank you. Oh, how is it that... Okay, Zeno the Wise, multiple subs. I don't know how that works or what that means, but I think, thank you. That's, I don't know. All right, guys. I'm just going to do the first three, and then I do have to dig out. So let's do this together. I'm going to, please forgive me if there's any bogging, because that's really what this was about, to see if my half-assed Wi-Fi setup would handle the stream and stuff. And so apparently I'm already having some issues. But I'm going to just do the first three on this track, which is the prologue, first steps, and resurrections. And it looks like this is composed by Lena Rain. Wonderful. I think that's it, yeah? Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I'm just going to play. We're going to rock and roll and go. And this is the first few tracks from Celeste. I'm not familiar with the game, obviously, but I look forward to listening to this original soundtrack for the video game Celeste by composer Lena Rain. All right. Very unique. Even the power of the hammers on the strings. Oh! Okay, so we apparently that first, like the prologue was only 1:07, which was just that piano part. Very unique, very beautiful, very spacey in the arrangement, you know, time between the notes. It wasn't, I'd say like 65 beats per minute kind of a vibe. But what I found really neat about this, and this is where the sonic imagery from a composer comes into play, is the abruptness of the sound of a hammer, if you would, on a piano. It was very percussive. It was very loud, louder than you might hear otherwise. And it was a purposeful thing, it sounded like. And I really loved that because it was very unique. And then just in that little, you know, it was just a little over a minute, there was slight little answer back, you know, with these bells that were obviously in a higher tone. So it set this really super cool ambient vibe, you know, going on. Now, it looks like we're getting into a little bit more of the composition. So let me just click on this. It should start over on the second track here called First Steps, which it sounds like is going to be a little more synthy hybrid. so cool. You know what I love about this is there's dueling arpeggiations going on, and so you have the original arpeggiation that's being started by the piano. You know, it has its own and then there is another arpeggiation, but with a synth sound with a different set of notes within the, you know, the scale in which she's playing, in the key that she's playing, which is kind of the zip line, I like to call it. It's like a through line, a through arrangement, while she kind of takes us around a chordal journey and brings us this. It's very lighthearted. It seems like this particular track is a very lighthearted piece. I don't know anything about the game, so I don't know if there's gameplay going on here. Sounds like there probably is. It's called First Steps, so maybe this is a point of where the character in Celeste is looking to build something or is heading on their direction or something like that. But it very much has that very optimistic kind of vibe. And like I said, I really love the hybrid aspect. Actually, the piano, as far as I can hear right now, the piano is the only what I would consider organic instrument, be it played through a sampler or whatever. The rest of it, this really slick use of the synths, and these wide open arrangements really expand a really good tone representation, you know, from 0 to 16K, or I like to call beetle fart to dog whistle. So there's nothing stepping on each other. It's very nice, and it still is very ambient, you know, and that kind of with a little bit of the reverb on there is always going to give you that kind of glowing and gliding ambient kind of vibe here. So I'm sorry, I want to go back a little bit because I want to play that little section I just played for you again. Here's another great move by our composer, is she took one of the sequences and then put some kind of sweeping envelope on it. So now it starts going, it gets softer, louder, thinner, then wider. And there's another sequence of chords that are being held down by kind of a keyboard sound. In that background, when I go back a few seconds here, listen for that. It's just all this intricate movement, rhythmical ceremonial ritual, I like to call it, going on here. So let me just see if I can scooch back just a little bit here. How do I do that? I can do that with this, right? Hang on, I go like this, go back 5 seconds, 5 more, 5 more, 5 more. Okay, let's see what happens. How that sequence is reshaping itself. Has a little bit of a song structure to it. Nice melody lead. That was a trippy chord change there. I mean, it brought us out of the norm. Another super cool thing that's happening here is, she's using an arpeggiator. And these arpeggiators, in the chords that she's playing, that's giving it its rhythm. And in a very unique way that synths and arpeggiators can work together is that you can program it to, if you hold down a chord, it can go bop 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 bop, or it can go bop bop ba da bop 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 ba da. You can change the tempos of these arpeggiations and stuff, and she did a brilliant job on that in the chords that are being held down that support her melody. Thank you, Cat Trips. Welcome. Nice little fade there. Uh-oh, I think I've hit the last track for me. Okay, this is called Resurrections. So let's just keep going. Oh my goodness, this is a 10-minute track. Hang on, guys, here we go. Dark twist in that right there. She brought in this low, listen to the low arrangement. It's subtle, but it pulls. Gives us this little dissonant moment there. Somebody tell me what's happening in the game during this period, so maybe I can do a little theater of the mind. I love that. A little drum and bass. Thank you, Zomber 2, Louis Spaghetti. I appreciate that. Excuse me. Okay. Thank you guys so much for cluing me in on what the character is doing and what's going on here. That does make a lot of difference. I write good grammar. That makes quite a bit of difference for me when I'm, going through the experience of listening. But in of itself, the music does dictate some of those somber. Somebody left me there a comment. somber, hardworking, focused, mission-oriented kind of vibe. It seems like this track is more of an ambient assistance to the game. You know, and what I mean by that is that the ambience, obviously, the ambiance is created. You know, once again, we have this very light arpeggiation happen. So far, everything's had some kind of arpeggiation going on, and which is in motion. And that's what video games are in motion. And but what I will say is the introduction of these layers and arrangements as she's gone, you know, let's say 32 bars, another arrangement comes in, and there's turnarounds. Very ambient oriented. And I know that some people had talked about the difference between ambient composition for video games versus melodic composition for video games. When there was a conversation, which I'll probably have another completely different conversation about, the nostalgic, quote-unquote, days of 8-bit melodic composition opposed to what has maybe perhaps become more ethereal compositions. But I'm not a connoisseur of any of that. I'm just kind of engaging in that, like, wait, you guys are saying what? And it's opening my eyes, but that's what composition, end of story, to me is about. Sure, when a movie opens up, you've got the big melody going on or something. There's, you know, your main theme melody. But for the rest of the movie, it's music to guide you through scenes. And then at the end, you know, and then through the movie, or maybe through the video game, comes these les motifs, or the motifs that, you know, repeat itself a little bit, so you have an semblance of like, oh yeah, that's part of the theme. So I think that's a conversation we all could probably have in of itself, and I will do more discussions like that on Twitch. But let's continue with this. I've got about 6 more minutes of this track, and then I got to go. So let's just keep going. Oop, I suck. Stand by. So there are these subtle changes that happen in the arrangement where, oh, this is the end. Okay, cool beans. Then I'll just stop it here. Or maybe that wasn't the end. Was it not? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna keep going. No, wait a second. And then I'll keep going, because it says here that this track goes until 14 minutes. So maybe I stopped at the wrong time. That's fine. I just want to say briefly, remember I was talking about the arrangements coming in and out? As long as there's something that's still a thread. When I came back in, there was this really dark, heavy, sinister kind of bass sequence that was going on there. It resonated very low. And so that kind of brings you back into, to me, the mission feeling kind of vibe of it. But then in the change up of the arrangement, that disappeared. When that disappeared, there was like a noticeable drop in the energy, in the heaviness. Even though the chords were still the same, there's a little bit of that minor chord vibe that makes you feel like, ooh, spooky, or working hard or unsettled. But when that bass dropped out, a little bit of the heaviness, I'd say probably 35% of the heaviness just kind of disappeared. And it was floating in ambience. And then she brought in these little string swells behind it. So what this is, it's a game of arrangements that are popping in and out in layers and stuff. So. sounds like this might be like the end of the path or something. Heavy. That was a nasty change there. I mean, nasty meaning good, just like nasty, heavy, dark, twisted. So it's changing into a chase scene. Hey, Mike. How's it? That's a funny emoji, Calico Fox. Great drum programming there. You see me make those faces because there's that one chord. Even if you know nothing about music, there's that one little change she does there that makes you feel like, what's happening there? Where are we going now? Please, driving Miss Daisy, not so fast. It is that kind of like a weird moment of, love the drum programming that's done there, especially with the little 30 seconds on the hi-hats. And there's a little bit of that in the snare, like a snare roll that's happening there. So it's obviously getting progressive. Really quick, before I go on, is it getting glitchy again? I'm sorry, guys. This is what's happening in my system right now. Here's my question, and then I'm gonna ask the question, and then I'm gonna start the music again. You guys fire away. What I'm hearing are the complete compositions, if you would. But you're saying like, okay, now this is a chase scene, the other one. Is this what happens when you evolve through the levels? The music will change? Because I can't imagine that it's playing like in this 10-minute slot and you have 10 minutes to get to the end, that when you get to the next little one, the next little piece of music plays through. So if that's the case, let me know here in the comments and I'll start up the game thing. Hey, Tone, what's going on? How's it? Okay, now you see that's really super cool. You know what I loved about that? Oh, I think it's gonna go right into another thing, or is it not? Oh, this is like the last end of it. Oh, there's that little beetle fart I was telling you about. Okay, yeah, that's the end of it. Because apparently it's going to fade into something else, and I don't have any more time to do another one. But what I will say is this very last section, as the piano arpeggio was going, you had that melody, whatever of that nature. There was a counter melody happening with another synth at a different tone and a different level. So that's really nice. What the one thing that I've learned so far on this extremely brief exposure to composer Lena Raine and this game is the essential parts of the compositions are arpeggiations, things with motion. So things that are constantly going. But remember, I've only listened to 3 out of some odd, so I'm definitely not making a total assessment of anything. I'm just saying the 3 tracks that I've just heard is very motion oriented. The game looks really super cool. The game kind of looks like something I could probably play with my grandkids, if there's such a thing in multiplayers. But I still am too far away from even considering that. As far as being old man gameplay with a controller, I still haven't got my controller either. But I did love everything that I heard about this. Very ambient oriented. And I really dug that. And I guess against gameplay, this is really, really super cool. And it really works out well. So the game is basically about moving around. Yeah. The segmented. Yeah, lots of dissonance in the soundtrack. But a big theme of the game is overcoming mental illness. Trippy. Is that actually part of the game about or synopsis? Very interesting. What's also interesting is when you listen to the full soundtrack. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Zombor02. Is that as I evolved through listening to this soundtrack, that each one of the characters will have their own melody. I have been, hey, Giant Bass, what's up? A paddle, yes. Sorry, I still game controller or paddle, whatever. I was a very, very big fan. I was homeschooled musically, and so I had a lot of heavy artillery classical composers, of which, one of them was a composer by the last name of Prokofiev. Probably don't know who he is, but very famous for a book/music called Peter and the Wolf. And that was I was probably 3 when I was exposed to that. And then the wolf would be like the tuba. Boom, 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 boom. That kind of, I was exposed to that very early on. So that kind of assignment to melody to character to me is very reminiscent and very nostalgic to me, though it doesn't happen often. At least as far as I'm hearing, it's good to know that composers are still keeping an eye on it. And once again, this journey into video games, there could be tons of them that do it, but I don't know. I'm still at the very beginning of it all. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I can't. I'm sorry for having to cut this off. I've only been on for an hour. You know me, I could go till 3, but this wasn't even scheduled. I was just testing after my technical debauchery that happened here on Saturday where I had to cancel that Twitch stream. This is actually being done off of a jerry-rigged Wi-Fi, so I'm really just kind of testing it. I figured, hey, I'll do it 7 in the morning, and nobody will watch this. Also, I got 100 and some odd people here, so I want to thank you guys again just for coming and hanging out, helping me test this. For those of you who are here at the beginning, talking about the Grammy thing, that was really cool. There will be some streams that'll be just discussion. But because I was here and the stream seemed to have been working, we jumped into Celeste. I have my list of other games that I'll be doing here on Twitch. But on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to go and do what I was supposed to do on Saturday, which was Dark Souls. So, and by that time, too, I will be able to be the octopus that I'm training to be, and be able to run a poll and do this at the same time and be able to manage things. So if you want to submit tracks, all you got to do is just actually your best place. If you want to submit a track while you're here, go ahead and do it now while the chat's live for a couple minutes, and then I can come back on this in the VOD and then take a look at that. So I did Risk of Rain already on my channel, but only one or two of them. So of course I'm going to do a ton more. But anyhow, guys, listen, I'm going to leave the chat open for a second. I'm going to read a few things. If you have any suggestions for me to do, please put them here in the comments. And if you don't end up making it before I go before I unalive my channel, then you can always drop your suggestions on a video on my World Music Reaction and Review channel. And that will be super cool beans. So, yep, Diablo I've got on there. Serpent is on there as well. Answers from Final Fantasy 14. Thank you, Raspberry Space Jam. Unreal Tournament. Yes, I just did a huge thing on Minecraft. As a matter of fact, go ahead and take a look at my VODs here. I did it last week. I think I did like 12 little things from Minecraft. So it's here on my VOD. And I am going to slice it and chop it up and put it up on YouTube, but it's still here. Okay. Anyhow, let me just take a quick look at something here because I want to make sure. Hi, Daddy Ravioli. How are you? Let me take a look at something here because I want to make sure I say mahalo to everybody. Oh, Hondoff Hides, thank you so much for the subscription. Also, Xeno Wise, I think. Yeah, I got a lot of tears there. And also, thank you guys so much for the donation for the cup of coffee. That also goes a long way, too. Especially this one's a day old. I had to reheat it. Hey, look, the sun's coming up. I told you it was morning here. Look what's happening to me. The sun is coming. Shall we watch the sunrise here in Hawaii? What a trip. I have Hades. I already have one Hades on my channel, and I'll be doing some more here. All right, guys. The sun's coming up over the hill here, and I know for all of you, some of you are just getting ready for sunset. Maybe you're in the middle of your day, but I'm about to start mine, so I'm going to finish this old cup of coffee. The surf is small enough for me, for this old guy. It's under 8 feet today, so I'm going to be able to paddle out. So I'm going to go do a surf. I'm going to go check to see how this stream went, and if all things go well, I will see you guys Wednesday night here for Dark Souls. Okay? So, hey, yeah, that's the last thing I could do here. This is always a fun thing to do. Before I dig out, where are you guys from? Where are you guys right now in the world? I'm obviously in Hawaii during a look at the sunrise in my face. Where are you guys at? Finland. Let's see. Portugal, how's it? Arizona, Latvia. I have a very European. Brazil, Sweden, UK. How's it? Germany, Portugal. Oh, this is Costa Rica, pura vida. I always surf in Costa Rica, Nusara and Pavones and stuff. Poland, Canada, Germany, San Diego. Ireland. Ugh, it's a dream to come visit Ireland one day. Switzerland. Oh, so many wonderful places. I feel so blessed that I get to reach out and share this time with you. All right, guys, I am out of here officially. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll see you on the channel. I'll see you here on Wednesday if you make it back. If you don't make it back on Wednesday because it's out of your time zone, you know me. I'll chop it up in a week or so and put it on YouTube for you. All right, guys. Like I always say, all right. See you guys later. Aloha. I do this every time. Where's my end stream button? Oh my God. The older I get, the better I was. All right, guys, I found it.